Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be going through the trade targets for SuperCoach in round 17. Going through probably some pod options more so than the obvious ones. I think we saw this in the fantasy video as well that you guys will be seeing, will have already seen by now, that there are quite a lot of players that are probably just can go on that 5, 6, 7, 8 game run that you kind of need, or that have done it before, etc. So we'll go through them. They're also generally very cheap, so you might want to just option, because at this point there is no point almost, or there's limited point I should say, in going with the high-end guys that are averaging what they're almost priced at, etc., that everyone else has. Because especially if you're behind, if you're just covering off what other people are scoring, etc., because you're top of the in the top 40, top 50, etc., then that is what it is. But if you're sort of chasing the pack, you kind of want to go all in, because there's no point finishing 100 points behind and just going and basically checking off what other people have done ahead of you. It is about trying to risk it all in terms of finishing potentially even outside of the top 1k to get into that top 100 also. But anyway, let's jump into this video. So the rookies, this one's probably going to be ultra quick. Tom McCarthy, minus 175. He's gunning for that Errol Gordon record. I believe he needs 107 plus to get there. So we'll need a good performance against GWS. But if GWS start missing a lot, he'll get a lot of kick-ins and probably get close to it anyway. But he's projected to really realistically jump up a heck of an amount. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure this projection is off. But if we say he's just going to go 100 for the next couple of weeks, you see he jumps up 180k in 2 weeks. So yeah, I could see him realistically just making a bucket load of money. And if we say that projection's evened off and he's going to go somewhere around that 115 marker, he even makes a lot more money. And yeah, so he's the obvious rookie if you still somehow don't have him. Ralston, I don't think many will be going through here. I think this is a section that I'll just probably breeze through, because a lot of people aren't going to be grabbing up these rookies. But he is a guy that I could see probably playing a decent amount here and making a little bit of cash. But it's at the point in the season with SuperCoach with limited trades that it isn't much actual help to get Ralston in, because I don't think you'll have enough trades to trade him in, but then also to trade him out, which could occur. And he's also had his price jump anyway. So that's why I'd be going for these 99k guys. You've got, well, not Liddy anymore, but you had Liddy, you have McCarthy, you got Archer May even to a certain extent. Who else is down here at 99k? I mean, if you really wanted to grab him, Boyd, but I wouldn't. Who else? Isn't actually many 99kers that we've seen actually debut yet. But yeah, so we'll see them probably come through in the next little bit as well, which will be good. And then there really isn't anyone else on the bubble that is worth looking at, because it's already Camporelli is the third best bubble boy after May and McCarthy, and he isn't going to play. And then the next one after that is Tunstall and Blackiston. Blackiston could be all right, but then again, also it's like most people have Boyd anyway, so Blackiston doesn't matter. And then Tunstall hasn't played in a while, so he's not really playing. And then you've got to go down to Tyru, but he's at 163k, so he's inflated anyway, so wouldn't be jumping on there. And then the next guy you'd be looking at on terms of the bubble is probably Hayes, but he's not going to probably be in the side long term, I would think, just because they're still hunting for finals. They're still going to be tinkering around with stuff, etc. And he probably is in and out in the side. He doesn't have a consistent role in there. So then we move to coach's choice, and there will be some that I'll just jump in and add as well when we get to it. But Archer May mostly traded in. That's just because people need a 99k guy, and they can maneuver around guys like Gross and some other forwards that have midfield status to get in Archer May. Tyru, I think people jumping on Tyru, I don't really like. He's scoring all right, but he's not scoring outstanding. He had a massive game on the weekend and ended up with a 77. That's not even that outstanding, I'd say. McCarthy, understand that. Errol Gordon, these are the types of picks that you want. Errol Gordon, not a lot of people are going to be able to afford him, just because he came in with such a limited time left. And I could see him going 120s for the remainder of the year, to be honest with you. So yeah, I could see him being a guy that you get for 580k that not many other people get, and his fixture starts to really open up, and that's when he's valuable. So yeah, Errol Goulden, that'd probably be my number one sort of premium point of difference player to grab, because not a lot of people are grabbing him up. Charleston, that's just a dead rookie. Bontempelli still being traded in, which is interesting. He's now got the likes of North Melbourne. And so, yeah, it will be interesting to see how it goes. But I think he is a genuine VC candidate this week. Rosie, 35% trade in. So he's still low-ish for being like a D1 candidate. So that's, yeah, I would definitely be looking at him if you have the trades available. Sam Darcy, I think he comes back stronger this week against North Melbourne. I wouldn't be VCing or captaining him, because yeah, just that's a big risk. But I think that he will go large this week. He's either going to go really large or really small. I don't see him just sort of going that 80s. I see him either getting absolutely blanketed for like a 60s or 50s, or going absolutely mega, kicking like 5 or 6 goals and going 130 plus. McRae, Alga, Fraser, I wouldn't be trading into. I think this was just a burst game for him, or sort of a bump game, whatever you want to call it. As the week before that, 82, 90, 109, 91. So in the last 3 weeks before that, he was averaging like 93, 94, and then a 151. So yeah, I just don't think you can go there. Curtin, neither, don't think you can go there as well. And then you've got Holmes, Jackson, etc. there. So now we quickly look at the guys that I just want to point out as well. I think one guy that you could actually look at trading in as a point of difference is actually Toby Green. I know he's got an 89 break even, but he does have the likes of the West Coast Eagles. If we look at his season stats here, he went 149 against the Eagles last time out, and he does have a 121, 98 combo against Geelong in previous years. And I don't think that, if I want to say correctly, and I'm not sure, he did actually play the full game against the likes of Geelong for the 54, which was surprising. But yeah, I would really be looking at this game here against West Coast, and be looking, if you have the trades available, and you can almost get a rookie to Green, because I have a feeling he's just going to be able to go off. If we look at and we'll just quickly go out of this. If we look at the inside mids, West Coast are up there 2.9. If we look at the general forwards, West Coast are up there. If you want to even go whatever, they're still up there. They're a positive matchup across the board, except for general defenders. So that's a really good thing. I also want to just quickly check the CBA rotation for the likes of GWS to just see what's going on there. If we look at that, Toby Green's having 35%. He's had big games and small games as well, but he's still always in and around that rotation, which is a good thing. So yeah, I have a feeling that he's going to be the one to really grab this week, again, having that bump matchup against West Coast. But being that type of guy, we've seen it in the past with Toby Green. If we just go here, we've seen it in the past with him, that he can average these banker scores as well, these absolute mega scores. So I know he was probably playing more on ball in like 2014 or 2012 to like 2019, etc. But yeah, I could really see him just doing that for 5, 6, 7 weeks could be all that you kind of need. And that's the difference maker, because he's priced at 350k compared to getting someone, even just like a lot of people will be trading into like Jackson and like Myers and other sort of forwards, whereas you can get Toby Green at 350k. This was something I was thinking about with Brett Daniels, but it became more apparent, I think, with the likes of a Toby Green. Yes, his stats aren't the quote-unquote greatest, but I have a feeling that he's just going to be a guy that you can really just look at just to have a 5 or 6 game run. Because if we look at 2024, I just want to see in 2024 if he had this kind of run as well. If we look at 2024, you'll see he had a 193, etc. He didn't really actually have that run. Had a 154 around this time last year as well against Richmond. So that sort of shows you that he can do it against the really poor sides. And then in 2023, I just want to check this, and then I'll quickly check his, which one's him? This one here, 2023, I just want to check how many CBAs did he have? He had in total 17% CBA, so he wasn't having CBAs. And in 2023, he went, do we have any sort of numbers here? You can kind of see it here, 81, 97, 98, 106, and also went on a run here pre-buy of 121, 83, 119, 98. So across about 7 or 8 week area, if we just look here at there's 737, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he scored 770 or so across 8 weeks, which is an average of 95 or so across 8 or so weeks. And you can even extend that to being 9 weeks and him averaging around that, what's that, 870 points or so, 872 across 9 weeks, which is an average of 96.8. So he's done it before. I think he can also do it again. And that was just in 2023. If we go back even further, I think you'll see runs as well where he just goes off and scores really, really well. So yeah, he's sort of the guy that I think can go off and really, really score well. Like, look at this run to start the year. He was averaging 100 through the first 6 weeks of the year in 2021 and ended up also coming back after, I believe, an injury or something as well, and went 103, 125, 84, etc. Yeah, so I just have a sneaky suspicion it won't be smooth sailing. It's not like he's going to come in and then just score 120, 120, 120. There will be up and down games, but I have a feeling more times than not with their schedule upcoming as well that he will be able to put up decent scores. And there's going to be 1 or 2 spike games that you can get out of him, which in SuperCoach with the ability of basically the flex, I think you can get away with him a little bit more so than you could in previous years as well. So that's sort of the big guy. And then also another guy worth sort of mentioning is Sam Flanders here. If we just go here, 372k, another guy I feel like could turn it around as well. Has gone 89, 90, 32, 91, 87 in the last 5 weeks, which only is like an average of 75 or something like that. 77.8 last 5. But I think his role is turning around. 372k, you'd probably want some better spike games out of him, to be honest with you. And that's why I probably value Toby Green over the top of him. But I can still understand the reasoning with Sam Flanders. And at that price point, I think if you wanted sort of a risky-ish play to a point of difference to like the Mills and stuff like that, then I think Sam Flanders is your way around that as well. At 372k, I think he can be sort of a cheap guy that you're probably going to get a similar value to someone in the low 500s, and you're saving 140k, 150k. So that's what I would be doing there. But anyway, that is the video there going through these SuperCoach trade targets for round 17. A shorter one just because the rookies don't really matter as much in SuperCoach anymore, just because we're not really bringing in rookies. A lot of us are sort of doing one up, one down, etc. But yeah, just a couple of pod sort of plays because Flanders and Green present so much value that I think you kind of, if you want to be a point of difference team, can lurch into that area. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.